Hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to Sleeping Dogs. So the game is pretty much over. There's some side missions that I'm not gonna do. But before I finish out the series, let's walk around each of the districts and just look at the architecture and look at random things as well. So here we have North Point there. So let's start with North Point and then we move to Central and then Kennedy Town and Aberdeen, right? So we're just gonna walk around all the streets, I think. I'm not sure how I want to do this. So there's like a main street, main loop, and then there's like an outer loop. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. I might do like a spiral. No, that doesn't work either. We'll see what happens. So starting off with the apartments, the North Point apartments. It looks kind of old and run down, and I guess it is old and run down, but it's big, so it's a bit incongruous how big this is compared to the condition it's in, right? But anyway, that's a video game thing, I guess. And even like the hallways are way too wide. So when I say a video game thing, what I mean is, if it's too narrow, you literally can't walk through it. Like the video game, like the AI can't figure it out and all that. So in working class, I guess even middle class actually, Hong Kong apartments, the apartment blocks, people usually have these metal gates on their doors for security. So there's like the door, and then there's the gates, there's the double door. It does provide a bit extra security, I guess. You have to get through two doors to get in. So that's pretty common in Hong Kong.
You're starting to drive me insane. You should marry Danny. Get away from her. You think it would give me some peace and quiet? He's a nice guy. You just need to figure out how to.
Again, like the entryway is way too wide. A real one would have like a very narrow corridor, and then we have the letterboxes on one side. Maybe there'll be a little station for a security guard. Not that the security guard provides very much security, but a lot of buildings, especially older ones, there'll just be a guy there, just watching things. These days, there's like electronic locks and cameras and all that, so in newer buildings there wouldn't be a security guard, but you know, back before there was all this technology, there'll just be a guy, usually like an old dude. An old retired dude. You just hire him to just sit there and watch things. He's not supposed to really do any security himself, but if he sees anything happen, he'll just call the cops. Basically, that's his job, is just to call the cops if he ever sees anything, right? Alright. Out in North Point. In fact, let's go to Google image search and just look at North Point and see what it looks like in pictures, right? If we come here, North Point, Hong Kong. Let's go to images. Right, yeah, no, look how dense this is. So the North Point of today is quite a bit more built up than the North Point in the game. I guess there's that. Is it like an old photo or what? Look how dense it is. It's just covered in buildings. Just a continuous wall of buildings. Yeah, that's Hong Kong, you guys. And look how tall this stuff is, right? So, significantly taller than in the game. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like 18 to 20 stories. It'll probably be like, it'll be 20 stories, but there wouldn't be a level 4, and there wouldn't be a level 14. Because the word 4 rhymes with the word death in Cantonese. So if you look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So the height of it is approximately the same. Over there at least. This stuff is way too short. So the height of it is approximately the same, but the width of it is not, right? In the Here, like there's so much more of it. Right, the buildings this is so much more of it in the real Hong Kong. Yeah, look, real densely populated. Crazy, man. Oh, hey, does it overhang the sidewalk, really? So the sidewalk is there, and the building overhangs the sidewalk. That's crazy. Is the sidewalk not part of the street? So usually cities don't do this. Because the public street, and then there's the public sidewalk, and then there's the private property, right? So the boundary line between the public street and the private property would be back there. But here it looks like the public street is actually just the roadway. And then this is actually private property, but I guess by law they have to maintain a sidewalk. So they're allowed to build over the sidewalk, but not over the road because that's public. I think that's what's going on. I'm really not sure what's going on with this. The way the building overhangs the sidewalk like that. Or maybe the planning laws just allow that to happen because of how crowded the place is. I don't think so, though. I don't think that's... Well, maybe. Alright, again, that overhangs the sidewalk a little bit. I don't know, maybe the planning laws just let you do that because it's so crowded in Hong Kong. It's real colorful too, look at that. Like, it's more colorful than you might imagine. Like, if you tell people, oh, it's just concrete buildings. Hong Kong is just concrete buildings everywhere. Like, you might imagine it's just all grey, but no, it's actually more colorful than you imagine. Alright. So, let's get back in the game. Yeah, so it looks more like this. Which is kind of like in the game, but the game's just not, the scale of it is not, there's not enough of it. There's not enough density. Alright, so where should we go? Let's go for a little loop, and then we'll go for a bigger loop. We've kind of seen the night market, right? So we compare this to what we had in Google image search. Like, it's not bad. It's fairly close. If you don't look too closely, it's fairly close to what it is in the photos. It's just the photos are... like, the streets are longer and there's more buildings, right? If you, like, pay attention to it.
Hello?
But if you're not paying that much attention, you wouldn't notice. She's saying, I wish you could buy houses on credit card. Alright, so that's Hong Kong. So Hong Kong materialism, I've talked about this already, right? Hong Kong is famously materialistic. But I've talked about how, you know, like because of the rapid economic development, a lot of the old culture, old religions, old traditions don't really fit into the new city. And so instead of the old traditions, people embrace money. Money and materialism. Alright, so and I've already talked about how the sidewalks are too wide, right? So the buildings overhang the sidewalk a little bit here too, as you can see. Except that the real sidewalk would be half as wide as this.
Hey, yeah, be more careful.
Ah, very cool, look at that. Right, North Point. I guess North Point is, like when you say Hong Kong to people, I guess North Point, like this is what they imagine, right? A lot of signs, and like really densely packed buildings. I don't know what's going on there. Uh, medical center, huh? So I think these streets, like this loop, is just this streetscape. Can I get in here? Yes.
I'd rather not talk about it.
If you get knocked out in the game, you respawn back at a hospital. And I guess this is the hospital in North Point. Not much to say about it. Architecturally, it's just a game mechanic.
Oh, 我明你意思。
Alright, where are we going? We continue to go around. I mean, there's not much to say, right? It's all more or less the same, this whole street. There's not enough people. Not enough people, not enough traffic. I'm like talking about like what it feels like to be in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, there's more people. A lot more people, and the alleyways are narrower than this. This alleyway is too wide, and the buildings are too short. In fact, why are the buildings so short? Alright, at the end of the street, there's a little bit of a park on either side.
I care a bit about.
Alright, so now we have a wider road with a median in the middle. The architecture is more the same. Oh, there's bigger signs here too, look at that. Even more signs than before. So this is like a main street. Where are we? Club Bam Bam is there. Do we need to go in? Oh, actually, there's names for some of these. Huh. Maybe we can look this up. Look Fu Park? Hold on, let's look up the named landmarks. Lok Fu Park. Huh. Well, the real one is much more interesting than the one in game, isn't it? Lok Fu. View of Lok Fu. Yeah, no, Lok Fu Park in the real world is much more interesting than the one in game. In game, it's just a couple of patches of grass. Oh, hey man, there's like a temple? Oh, maybe the temple in the game is based on this. Could be. Tin Hao Miu. Yeah. Look Fu Park, Kowloon Zai Park, Checkerboard Hill. So we don't have a. We don't have a an article for the park. I'm gonna open up the temple. Look Fu Estate. So this is public housing. A whole lot of public housing projects. Also, it's not in North Point. It's over in Kowloon. It's yeah, no, it's in Kowloon. North Point is there. It's on the other side of the other side of the harbor. Look Fu Estate. Completed in 1999. Alright, so they're just putting things all over the place in the game. Yin Hao. A temple in Hong Kong. Wait, there's a number of them. There's more than one of them. Yao Ma Zai, Joss House Bay, east of Victoria Park, Causeway Bay, declared monument. The one in the game doesn't quite look like that. What about the other ones? There's a whole temple complex. Doesn't look like that either. This is on an island, isn't it? Where is this? The oldest and largest sea-facing temple located in Fatongmun. Huh. No, the one in the game doesn't look like any of those. Anyway. Back in the game. So there's a Fulong overpass. What is a Fulong overpass? Do you think it's here? Fulong overpass, Hong Kong. Okay, it's FOO. Fulong, I mean, there's a Sleeping Dogs wiki one. Nope. It's not a real thing. Not a real thing, only in Sleeping Dogs. Okay, let's get out of Kowloon. Is this North Point or Kowloon? Alright, let's get out of North Point city center. So around here we have hillside. Right, so Hong Kong Island is a hill. And as we get away from the city, we go up the hill. Can't get up there though, can we?
I'd be disappointed if they knew where I actually work. It's easier just to lie and keep them happy.
What does that look like? Oh yeah, there's like mountains back there.
I could do pottery.
We can't go out there in the game. So these are all residential districts. These are all apartments. Alright, so this street is cut into the hillside. You do see this sort of thing quite often in Hong Kong. Streets that are cut into the hillside.
Hello.
中意靚仔嘅，我從來都搞唔清咧佢情侶或者啦。
Alright, parking building. Oh hey, there's loot over there. Let's pick that up while I'm here.
Hey, what can I do for you?
And then we start going back downhill. I mean, Hong Kong is quite tropical. Once you get out of the city, which is not very far, once you get out of the city, it's quite lush, actually. That's a little steep, though, isn't it? That's a little too steep. In fact, the mountains are right there. Those mountains are a bit steep. Real mountains, not quite that steep. But you do have apartments like this, like on the hillside. That's a little, that's a little crazy. But like you would have the apartments there, and then you have like mountains behind it. I think I've shown you pictures of it before. You have like apartment blocks built on the hillside, on the slope. And they would look a little bit like this.
And I haven't been promoted in 5 years. Maybe I should
My cat
sell
Winky
the
had
nonsense.
one eye, but he has two eyes when I name him. Yeah?
Right. And then we go back downhill. Let me check the map again. So we went all the way up and down. Let's go check out the temple, right? I think the temple is completely fictional, not a real place. And that's probably a smart thing to do.
上因地遲到，冇買咁急。
Like if you copy a real location, you might get in trouble, especially if it's religious. Although, you know, Black Myth Wukong used a lot of real locations, and a lot of Buddhist temples are copies of real locations in the game. But they did it really well though, right? They did it very respectfully. Alright, let's sneak in here.
我咗喺邊度？
I don't want to do the quest. Yeah, I don't think it's a real temple. In fact, I'm not sure why there are lions in a Buddhist temple. The lions don't have any Buddhist significance, I don't think. Probably just put them there for decoration. Old school masonry construction. So there's like a covered walkway around the courtyard. Well, I mean, it's not really a covered walkway here. It would be a covered walkway in a real temple. In the game, it's a little too small for that. So there's a central staircase going up, and then around the sides, there's like a ramping path that goes around, that winds up and down. I wonder if that's fictional or not. But this is like a modern water feature. Not sure if that makes any sense in a temple. The historic temple. The issue is with the gameplay. The parkour doesn't really work on irregular geometry. So instead of natural waterfalls, they probably had to do that, because otherwise you can't climb up the thing. Alright, so let's type that into Google. I doubt it. How gu tian how good? No. Tin Hao. H-A-U? How? No, Tin Hao is the actual temple. Tin Hao Temple. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a real thing. It's probably just supposed to be a Tin Hao Temple. Tin Hao is also a place, not a formalized district. Causeway Bay proper. Tin Hao Temple, from which the area derives its name. Well, actually, Tin Hao. Oh. It's back to front. Tin Hao Gut. They put they, okay, they put the character on the other side. So that's temple? No, they just mix it up. So Tin Hao is Sky Queen. It's the queen of the sky. It's the Sky Mother, basically. Gu is ancient, and that is, hold on. How do you pronounce that one? How do you pronounce that word? Hold on. Yeah, no, they just... How do you pronounce this word? I don't want to mess this up right now. My Chinese is a little bit bad. Miu? Okay, it is Miu. Right. Tin Hao Miu. Tin Hao Gu Miu is the Sky Queen ancient temple. But what they've done in the game is they just mix and match the characters. Just like everything else, right? Like so now it's like Temple Sky Ancient Queen. Or if you read it the other way around, Queen Ancient Sky Temple. Which doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's Tin Hao. Tin Hao Temple. Alright, got it. Got it. Except this Tin Hao Temple is not the same as any of the other ones in real life. The circular portal thing? They don't do that, right? None of the Tin Hao temples do this. It's just like... So it's stone, brick, concrete and brick on the inside. The roof is interesting, right? It's decorative roof. And are those stone columns? Those are stone columns. So it's a stone building pretending to be a timber building. Right, so this is the stone is carved to look like timber carved buildings. But stone is more durable, right? And in fact the old Greek temples were the same thing. They are stone buildings that are pretending to be timber buildings. It's basically classical Greek architecture. Whereas this is actual timber, right? So there is stone brick. Is this stone or timber? It looks like timber. This looks like timber. And the underside of the roof is much less interesting than in real life. That's a shame. Like in traditional Chinese architecture, you can, well, the decorative stuff at least, like the really decorative stuff, you can see the rafters and the columns and the rafters and all the brackets holding up the rafters and everything else. So those are super interesting. from a construction standpoint. Interesting. What is this, for lectures? For marriages? What's this for? There's a garden back there. Right, so like from here, that's interesting. Like there's like a little carved piece there, decorative piece there. Just the underside, under the eaves. This is not properly done. This stuff. Ah, come on, that's not why. That's not even close. That's so cheap. That's so cheap. Where's the proper Chinese architecture? That's actually quite interesting because they've done this, right? They've put the wall there. They put this stuff back here. Oh hey, I found the last jade statue. That is the last jade statue. So they did all this stuff, the walls and everything. They didn't do the roof properly. I wonder why. Because the roof is the big part. That says Dao. Dao means the way or the path. But Dao is like it's like the natural order, I guess is what you call it. You know, like so Dao, I mean Taoism is a different thing, but the Buddhists also talk about Dao. It's the idea that there's a way that there's a natural order and there's a way that nature works. Even though we might not understand how nature works, still there are certain patterns and certain consistent patterns that you can see in nature. And that's what we call Tao, like how things are is Tao, versus how things are not, right? So things like, gravity, the seasons, human nature, so these things are like Tao. It's like an observation of what happens in nature. Oh hey look, we have a fine Chinese pottery, look at that. Very fancy. Not sure about these candles. We don't really do candles, we do incense. So we have incense, we do have incense here. Not sure what the candles are about. Alright, so that's Tin Hao Miu. That's a Buddha scripture. I'm not going to try to translate that, it's kind of complicated. And I'm probably gonna get it wrong. My Chinese is not advanced enough to understand exactly what that says. That's like very literary stuff. They don't teach this in primary school. When I left Hong Kong, I was still in primary school. So my Chinese level is not quite good enough to read all that. Anyway, so that's the temple. Alright, I figured it out. It's Tin Hao Miu. It is Tin Hao Miu. A Tin Hao temple. Alright, cool, nice. Well, before we leave, can we get a picture of the Tin Hao temple roof structure? You can barely see it in there because look, this is the good stuff, right? From like an architecture perspective, like the rafters is the good stuff. Tin Hao temple rafters. What is this? What's this? Image? Is this the one? Okay, well, it's not as cool as I thought, actually. Is this actually the one? That's not the same writing as the other one. Classified immovable properties. Okay, look, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. There's like a little, all the little slats. Okay, so no, this is this is the temple, right? This is Tinhao. And then what's going on? I want this bigger though. Why is this even okay, this I guess that's bigger. Wait, no, what? Okay, we can slide. See, look at that. So there's the tiles, right? The jade colored tiles. And then there's a whole lot of little bits holding up the tiles. Look at how intricate that is, right? That seems to be a newer reconstruction. It does not look original. I mean, they might have had to rebuild it or repair it. Alright, unfortunately. Like, look how much stuff there is on the roof. Oh, look at that. You can barely see it there. Can we see it? And look at that green ceramic on the roof as well. That's also very cool. Nobody looks up at the ceiling. Am I crazy? I mean, look how intricate that is. Look at all the wooden beams and the rafters on top. Like, look how detailed. Oh man, look at that. Like there's the big beam, and then there's a thing, and then another beam, and then a thing, and another beam. A little like a support, another beam, another support, another beam, and so it's like another one, and then another two, and another one. This goes up and across, up and across, and across. So interesting. Am I crazy? Am I the only one who looks at rafters in this world? I'm not crazy, right? That's super interesting, right? Like, look at this though. Look at all this stuff. What the hell is that? Oh, that's incense. That's incense? And I do believe this is not just any incense. It's incense that repels insects, I believe. It may or may not be, or maybe it's just prayer incense. Anyway, there's a whole lot of incense hanging from the ceiling. Look how cool that is. You guys gotta, like, if you go into an ancient temple, just look up. Or just, if you go to a church, just look up. And just check out the ceiling. There's a whole lot of interesting stuff going on in the rafters, I'm telling you. Look at this thing. Look at all this! Look at all this! Holy crap, look at all of that! Can I get a bigger picture? Oh my god, interior. Yeah, there you go. Interior wood carvings. Now this is my bro. This is my kind of people. Look at that. You see, he understands. This guy understands what the good stuff is. Look how interesting that is. Yeah. Oh, that's also cool. Look at that horse. Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, look how interesting this stuff is. Look at this. There's like fancy carvings. Are those clouds? Or is it an animal? I think those are cloud motifs. I'm not sure. It's a little small on the screen. Can I get it bigger? I think those are cloud motifs carved into the rafters. Oh, look how cool that is. A little gate there. Look how intricate that is. And then there's more stuff on the inside. Yeah, there you go. See, much better than... See, even this fan rafters, this is not Tinhao Mill. I think this looks Japanese. Is it Japanese or Chinese? Oh, look at that. Look how cool that is. Super cool. It looks Japanese though. This is Chinese, I think? I don't know if you can tell. Oh, Korean? My bad. Well, no, look, there's Korean, there's Japanese. Yeah, no, some of this is Japanese. Very cool. Hey, this is very cool. Look at that. So you have these posts, and then you have these brackets, holding up more brackets, holding up more brackets. So instead of just having like one thing and one bracket, you have like a series of brackets. And you might think, well, why do that? Why not have just one big bracket instead of a lot of small brackets? So it turns out that this does a lot better in earthquakes. So if there's an earthquake, all the brackets kind of slide a little bit, and the building just kind of slides in the earthquake, and the whole thing doesn't fall apart. Whereas if you just only have like one rigid strut holding it up, if that strut breaks, the whole thing falls apart. And so the brackets, they all slide a little bit during an earthquake, and so there's a earthquake resistance involved. And not just earthquake resistance, of course, any like storms or any sort of movement on the building. This actually resists those a lot better. Oh yeah, hell yeah! Look how intricate that is. Anyway, we're not in Tin Hao Miu anymore, but look at that, it's painted like orange and green. Very, very cool, man. Very cool. Okay, well, let's get back in the game. Much better than whatever the hell this is. What is that? What is that? Alright, back out. Let's move along. Can we get up there? I mean, it's closed off. I don't think we can get up there. So where do we want to go next? The temple is a little interesting. Not as interesting as you would hope. Not as detailed as you would hope. I guess there's limitations. The game is old, right? So there's like I don't know what... Oh, this was it was industrial, right? Yaoling Park? Yaoling Courts. Let's go check out Yaoling Courts. In fact, before we go down there, I wonder if we can look it up on the internet. Is it a real place? Yaoling Courts, Hong Kong. Sleeping Dogs Wiki. Yeah, no, but you know... What if we like swap it around? No? No. I mean, it probably is a real place. Hold on, I just saw something. But they swap the names around. They like to swap the names around. Nope. So unless you're really familiar with Hong Kong, which I'm not, unfortunately. I've been away from Hong Kong for a long time. Unless you're really familiar with Hong Kong, you wouldn't recognize the references.
Hey!
咁就係啊，
我唔需要貸款啊，唔該，你可唔可以唔好盡壓力推銷咧？
Not much to say about that.
Yeah 啦，我走先。哇，咁啊真係勁喎！都唔知係唔係嘅。唔知喎，都係咁上下啦。
They've made a lot of stuff, but not that many interesting landmarks. I mean, they have put some landmarks in the game. Not as packed as you might imagine, though. And you gotta wonder how they choose which ones to put in and which ones not to put in. Let's go straight across and get down to Yaoling Park. I think it's just a public housing project. There's a lot of public housing projects in Hong Kong because land prices are so high. that if you just let the free market do its thing, everything would be way too expensive and nobody could afford the houses. So the government does public housing and they sell it for a low price, although there's so much demand that you have to go on a waiting list, right? You go on a waiting list, but when you do manage to get a house, it's quite cheap. And the low price of the public housing forces the private housing to also have to keep their prices under control in order to compete with the public housing, right? Because if it's too expensive, people will just wait for the public housing. But it's basically government intervention in the markets. If they don't do that, then if it's just private housing, the prices would just go through the roof and nobody could afford anything. There's a park in the middle of a bunch of buildings. This is not what Hong Kong feels like, by the way. Hong Kong parks don't feel like this. Often the grass, like there'll be like a walkway, and then there'll be a low wall, and then the grass will be above to discourage people from walking on the grass, right? Like Hong Kong is really hot, and there's a lot of people. So if you let people walk on the grass will just die. Like people will kill the grass. So unless you're like in a really rural area with not much people, most Hong Kong parks, the grass will be like fenced off somehow. You can't actually go on the grass. There's just too many people. Oh hey, there's loot down there. You know what? I don't really care about those guys. So is there anything else we need to do here? Not really, right? Should we go over to the waterfront? Take a look out there. There's a bunch of things. It's like that, there's that, there's that, and there's that, and then 4 different things. Oh, there's loot up there as well. You're not. Well, 高班 is ban is like class. Gao is enough. Like you don't have enough class to fight with me. But basically, he's saying like you're not good enough to fight me. Is what he's saying. But the phrasing is Cantonese phrasing. 2, 6. Well, let's make that a 6. Actually, I know it's 8 and 9, don't I? Yeah, no, I already know that. Because that's the only 2 numbers left. Alright, cool. We hacked the camera. Do I need to fight these guys though? You know what? Let me just fight these guys. I'm gonna do the camera thing.
Wait, ice cream? Special discount. Would you like some ice cream?
Fight with you, right away. So I did the camera thing, but I can't seem to make it
Ice cream. Best flavor.
activate the bad guys. Oh hey, look, ice cream. Okay, let's go south and let's go down to the waterfront and check that out. The parks in Hong Kong are bigger than this too. Again, you gotta consider like how many people there are in Hong Kong and how densely populated it is. So if you have a small park, it will just become overcrowded really fast. So whenever there is a park, it's like a big park. There's not that many parks, but whatever parks there are, they're huge. Usually, like you don't really see small parks very much. Or maybe I just remember wrong. From what I remember, you don't get a lot of small parks. There's an industrial part there. I don't want to go down there. I don't think there's anything interesting to see down there. It's just a bunch of warehouses. I don't remember what's out this way though, so I'm gonna come over this way and check it out. I didn't see him. Down here, is that right? Oh, right. North Point Pier, but that's not the North Point Pier. It's probably a different pier, and they just stuck it in North Point, right? So this is one of these buildings that I don't recognize. Maybe I should... Like, it looks like it's proper building in Hong Kong. North Pier, it says. What the hell? But Ma Gok Gok. I mean, they just completely messed up those characters. North Harbour corner. Point, what is point? North Harbour point, which is not what. It's meant to be North Point Harbour.
Why don't you have a pork bun in your hand?
Should I know this? No. Let's try this. If I type in Hong Kong Historic Pier, where does it show me? If I type in Hong Kong Historic Pier, Queen's Pier, images, oh there it is. Star Ferry Pier Central? It's this one? It's the Star Ferry Pier in Central. It's Central Pier. Alright, let's get back in the game. Is it that one or is it not that one? Not quite actually. Kind of. It's stone though. Kinda, but not really. Right, I mean there's the clock, there's that stuff, the little kind of things sticking up. No, it's... No, that's the one. It's definitely that one. There's the semicircular thing, right? Semicircular window. But they changed it up. They made it a stone building. Huh. Okay, so if we go to Star Ferry Pier, Wikipedia, the old one looks like that. Southern facade of the Star Ferry Pier in 2012. Central Pier, second gen. Oh, it's the old one. It's the second generation pier. I get it. It's the last one. It's not the current one. 1912, Queen's Building's on the right. The third generation, 1957. That's a whole different thing. And then the fourth generation, they made it look more like the second generation for historical reference reasons. Okay, I get it. So this is the third generation one. It's modernist. Kinda ugly. Yeah, no, no, it's this one. It's the historic one. And in the fourth generation, they went back and copied it. I get it. Right. Okay. Historic. It no longer exists in this form, but it's the historic central pier. Alright, cool. We found it. Nice. Well, I mean, they put it here on North Point because in Central, isn't there? Wait, no, there wasn't a pier. There was a Star Ferry station or a Star Ferry pier in Central, but it didn't look anything like this. Maybe the third generation one is that one. No, it didn't look like that either. Oh well. Alright, cool. So I said earlier that this game is anachronistic. Like it's set in 2012, 2013, 2012. But it references a lot of things that are much older than that. It references stuff from the 80s, 90s, and even earlier, right? It's supposed to feel like colonial Hong Kong, back when the British were still in charge, but it's set after the handover. So a lot of stuff is anachronistic, like things aren't really like this. Don't I go that way? I guess we can go this way. So this is like the Hong Kong that never was. Hong Kong was never really like this. What the hell is that billboard? Those aren't even Chinese people. Those are white people. Anyway. Cambria? Smokestacks. So Hong Kong does have power plants. Actually, what's going on there? Can I get up there? I'm not sure. Is that meant to be the power station in Hong Kong? So this is a bit strange. I think this is here really for story reasons only. Because like, given how densely populated it is just over there, this looks much more rural, right? It's a bit out of place, right next to North Point, like right next to all that, but okay. What is with the smokestacks? Hold on, let me just look up power stations in Hong Kong. Hong Kong power stations. Black Point, Castle Peak, Lama Power Station. There's a lot of them, by the way. None of those smokestacks look exactly like the one in the game. Penny's Bay. Right, a number of power stations. I don't think those smokestacks are meant to reference any of these. I could be wrong. List of power stations in Hong Kong. Lambert Winds, Lambert Power, Penny's Bay, Castle Peak, Black Point, WE. I think the typhoons usually come in from the east. So these are more or less protected from the typhoons. More or less. I think the wind usually blows this way too, and so any pollution gets blown the other way and not over the city. I think that's why these are over here. Gas and oil, coal and oil. Literally coal. Coal, oil, gas, and solar. That's ambitious. Oil, wind, waste to energy. Right. Formerly, coal and oil and gas. A lot of other power stations as well. Let's get back in the game. And where else are we going? We've been around a lot of this. I don't know if I need to look at everything in too much detail. Waterfront, and then there's like an industrial port. Let's go along this big road. Actually, no, what is this? There's about 1,000. What is this? Let's go wander around a little bit more. Do I go up or do I... Let's go up. Same old stuff. And then we have a bit of an industrial area, right? Right, so these are where the cops are. A transport company. Rentals? Is that what that says? There's loot back there. Great. Yeah, money. What is that? Oh, Kapili Funding. It's like a... Fabili? Fabili. So that's Genghis. Kublai. Kublai restaurant. It's like Mongolian roast meat, I think. Kublai is in Kublai Khan. Mongol. Warlord. Although I mean, this is not a restaurant. They just put that sign there, right? I been here in the game? I don't remember ever coming here. Yeah, no, I've never been here before. Because otherwise I would have picked this up. What is this? Do we have a mission here? Let me see what this is. Right, not much going on there. Staircase. Can't get in there. This warehouse is huge compared to all the other buildings. The scale is different from the scale of all the other buildings. Is there loot? There's no loot, right? Huh. Don't remember ever being here. I want to go this way, right? Huh. Interesting. In the map it looks like it should be open, but it's not actually open. You can't get to the water from here? Really? But you can see it on the map, right? You can see this stuff on the map. Okay. This is probably part of some quest. I just don't remember which one it was. Or even if it was a quest. Where does this go? Don't really want to go in the water. So there's a big port over there. Oh, we should look up the port of Hong Kong as well, I guess. Let's walk over there and then we'll look it up. I mean, that looks pretty convincing, right? The cityscape of Hong Kong from a distance. Fairly convincing. The real thing's bigger, as always. That's not bad.
The hell happened here? Didn't you see it on the news? Try it.
Oh hey, there's a woman kidnapped in the trunk. None of my business, am I right? But there's loot over there. The loot is my business. Nope. Hey boys! What do you
我
got
都幫你
there?
搞錯咗啊！
收佢皮啊！
捱啊！
Great. So we're gonna come this way?
買都買，講住收檔啦，每間咁樣。
Hey, Wei! Can you help me out?
No, I can't.
Mr.
Over
Wei.
here? Get to the port?
Definitely.
最近邊個最紅喎？
Hey, what can I do for you?
Free money?
"喂，點啊？
Waterfront. Let's go down to the waterfront. There's a whole lot of ramps all going to the water. That's the waterfront? Alright, a lot of small boats. What are these? Are these houseboats or are these like working boats? Fishing boats? They look like houseboats. Oh no, I guess they're fishing boats. I wonder if you still have this in Hong Kong. Like, you know, small-scale, self-employed fishermen. They own their own boats and they go out to sea and they catch a bit of fish. Sell it at the market. Because, you know, in some parts of the world, you have, like, big companies taking over. Right, so is this anachronistic or does Hong Kong still do this? When I was young, you would still see boats like this in Hong Kong. Hong Kong... Fishermen villages in Hong Kong. I mean, there's no boats, right? There's the village. 2016. Hong Kong Fishermen Home. No, that's the restaurant. Reviving local fisheries. WWF Hong Kong. Hong Kong was once a thriving fishing village with abundant fish stocks. Unfortunately, over the years, fisheries have declined drastically due to overfishing. Yep. Moment of the Sea, Life as a Hong Kong Fisherman. This was a while ago, right? Preserving legacy of Hong Kong's on-water people. Most of them have been replaced by yachts and motorized fishing boats. Yeah. I don't think you can do that anymore. So yeah, used to be you have guys with their own ships going out fishing, but these are all historic photos, right? They're all historic photos. There just aren't that many fish around Hong Kong anymore. I guess some of this is still 2015. You can still have small scale. Look how small those fish are. Holy crap. It's like tiny, tiny fish. Yeah, no, this the fisheries around Hong Kong have been severely depleted. You can't possibly make a living like this anymore, right? So like used to be, they'll go out on ships like this, they'll cast their nets, and they'll catch some fish and they'll come back and, you know, sell it at the market. Man, this is like, these are historic photos. Can't really do this anymore, I don't think. But you know, old school, look at that. Yeah, no. Oh, that thing's tiny! Throw it back, you idiot! What are you gonna do, eat it? The thing is like literally this big, half the size of your hand. Yeah, no, overfishing. Overfishing, overpopulation. No fish left. Right, so this stuff, I don't really think it happens anymore. I think this is anachronistic. Not that there's any people here either, right? There's no people and no fish, just ships. Alright, let's get out of here. Not much to see here. Used to be this sort of thing would be common in Hong Kong. I don't know what these guys are gonna catch. Why would there be fish here? Why would there be fish here, you guys? What are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna continue going around to the port. Before I get over there. Oh, there's loot over there, look at that. Before I get over there... let's check out Hong Kong Port. Huge. Holy moly. Look at the size of that thing. Yeah, no, Hong Kong was a major port. I mean, it still is, I guess. Hong Kong is a bit crowded now, though, hold on. Yeah, Hong Kong loses ground to Chinese ports, of course. Right, like a long time ago, you couldn't get things into China directly. You have to go through Hong Kong. But it hasn't been like that for a long time. These days, if you want to get things into and out of China, you just go directly to Shanghai or whichever other port. So where is this thing? Port of Hong Kong. Located by the south. It's located there? Yeah, I mean, look how... it's in the middle of the city. It's there? Stonecutter Island is no longer an island, by the way. It used to be an island. but the land reclamation has joined up to the mainland. That's the Port of Hong Kong there. It's so busy in here. But there's nowhere else to put it either, right? But it's not on Hong Kong Island, so the port here is out of place. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks vaguely like what it is in the game. We don't have the big cranes though. Viewed from space. Alright. And then let's go back in the game. Not enough containers. There are very few containers in there compared to what we see in the game. And no containers means no traffic means no money. But let me just check the map again. Yeah, no, it's not like that. The Port of Hong Kong is not like that. Hop Glamour Imports Limited. Not even sure what that is. Now let's cross the bridge. And walk around the port a little bit. This is a long video, it's gonna be what, 2 hours? This video just running around North Point in the game. Oh well. Okay, let's grab the loot that we can see. There's stuff over there, there's stuff over there, and there was stuff over there with the containers as well. Wait. So in the game the port is just decorative, right? Nobody's actually working, and there's no ships coming in. A real port would hopefully be a lot more busier than this. Why do I have a knife? Where's my gun? I don't want a knife. Well, I don't have a gun anymore. Oh, that's the dead end. We can't get out there. So you can only see this part of the cranes. not how real cranes work. So there's the rails, right? So the cranes can move back and forth, and they can move the containers in and out. I'm pretty sure they don't look like that. They're supposed to be joined up. It's supposed to be like one continuous structure. Not sure what that's about, why it's broken apart like that. Like, why isn't that joined up? Oh, we can get over here. But there's nothing here. Can I jump back out? Oh, that's water. No, I can't jump back out there. What's the point of coming here then? Well, the port was uninteresting. The thing is, it's all decorative, right? It's not a functioning port. If it was a functioning port, it would actually be quite interesting to see how everything functions. You have cranes taking the containers off the boats and then putting them, stacking them up. Like what the mechanics of it, the machinery and all that, that would be interesting. If it were real. But if you, as you walk up to the cranes, you realize they're just static. They're there for show, right? There's no logic to why they are where they are. Right, there's no way for the ships to come in, and there's no... Because the cranes are supposed to take the containers and then either put them on trains or put them on trucks, right? And so you would have like the ships come in, and then you have the trucks come in, and then you have the cranes, and then the trucks go, and you know, like the mechanics of how a port works is quite interesting. But this is not any of that. This is just something that looks vaguely like a port from a distance, but when you walk up to it, it's not a port. Can't get in there, right? Alright, let's get out of here. Where else do we want to go? I think we've seen pretty much everything. I don't know if we need to check out this road. We went around here. But this is mostly more of the same, right? Night market. We've looked at the night market several times before already. We've been through most of the named places. Alright, let me just come back to this main street. Maybe like walk down here. Oh, I should return the jade statue. That's what I should do. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, let's come around here. Walk down the main street and then come up here and I'll return the jade statue as well. It'll be the last jade statue. Let's see what Sifu has to say to us when we return the full set to him. Sifu. Si is like a craft, or like a trade or a practice, and Fu is a father. So he's like your trade father. Basically your master, right? Master and apprentice. Just seeing if there's loot down there or not. No. Wait, didn't we see that somewhere else? Did they just copy and paste that? Or were we here before? Were we here before? No, they copy and pasted that, didn't they? Did they? I went around... Wait a minute. Yeah, no, they copy and pasted this? Here. Oh, they're recycling architecture. They literally copy and pasted this into several places. Okay, that's... come on. When you have... Okay, look. Video game design. When you have distinctive architecture, it becomes a landmark, right? It becomes a place... If it's like really recognizable, players will recognize that and use it as a landmark to figure out where they are. So if you take an iconic piece of architecture and you copy and paste it to several different places, then you're really gonna confuse the players who are trying to use it as a landmark. So like, you know, like generic buildings, like those towers, like things you don't really... Things that don't stand out, you don't really recognize. Like that stuff, you can copy and paste as much as you like, because nobody's gonna look at it twice. But this building is so distinctive, you should not copy and paste it. Or if you do, then you need to make it look different somehow. Maybe make it a different color? Or something. Just make it so that it's obvious at a different place. What is this? You buy tickets here, is that right? Except the map is streets, it's not the ferry map. Not sure what that's about. You can buy your ferry tickets. Oh hey, it's a star ferry. How iconic. It's in the wrong place, of course. It's not supposed to be a star ferry here. Also, the real star ferry is quite a bit bigger than that. It's like a tiny version of the star ferry. The star ferry, before there were tunnels underneath Victoria Harbour, the star ferry was the main way people got from one side to the other. And so like a lot of people use the star ferry every day. So it can't be a tiny boat like that. It needs to be much bigger. It needs to be a much bigger boat than that. Alright, where did I say I was going? Up to that road. And down the main road. Bus terminal? Am I lost or what? Actually, let me check here. No, there's no loot. North Point Bus Terminal.
唔係啩？我都唔知點答你好。
Oh, so that's a proper freeway up there. And there's nothing down here on ground level. Right, okay, so there's like a freeway that goes all the way around, right? Kind of goes all the way, okay. The freeway, is that the freeway? Goes all the way around the island, if you want to just drive around in a loop. I don't really want to drive around in a loop, or run around in a loop. Industrial area back there. Alright, so we're back in the middle of North Point.
80後就要俾人標籤做嬌生慣養啫，我都係想40歲之後咬長糧啫嘛。I can't care how many people kill. You see this get this nail done. 我唔識字喎。係啊，上次撞到個中學同學，佢教得好好啊，年年都要 body check 㗎。
Right, we're here. I want to come down here, go the long way. Because there's a big road. Well, I mean, there's not much to say about this though, is there?
But can I help you?
It's the same... Alright, the same streetscape.
你話冇天理啦！
Oh yeah? Should we do the drug bust?
Lawyer says I'll be out in 60.
What's this? But where's the camera? Where's the camera control? Nope, not there. Oh, it's right here. Defeat the thugs, hack the camera. Okay. 1, 3, 7, 4. Very good.
真係諗到核突。
你 what are you doing？ 做 is do， 乜嘢係 what？ 你係 you， 做乜嘢 do what you？ What are you doing？ I mean, it's not like I'm trying to run into people, it's just that the controls are awkward, right? I'm going the long way. I'm just gonna go around the main street.
你去邊啊？係咪去閻羅王道啊？
So where are you going? Are you going to hell? Yimlo Wang is the Chinese version of the King of Hell. So in Chinese mythology, there's there's our earthly existence, and then there's like a kingdom in the heavens and a kingdom underground as well. So there's like a king, a teen dai, a king, like an emperor in the sky, and then there's also like a king underground. A lot of Chinese mythology is not very strictly defined though, right? There's no... It's just like traditions. It's not like anybody... I've said this before, like, in Western religion, there's doctrine.
You need food? I got good duck.
And there's canon, and there's dogma, right? So there's like, there are people who are in charge of enforcing the doctrines. If you don't follow the official doctrine, then you're a heretic, and then you might get burned at the stake. That's a bit extreme. Whereas in China, like it's all open to personal interpretation. Nobody's gonna burn you at the stake if you don't believe the same thing as some other guy. So there's like generally agreed beliefs, but then there's always people who believe other things. And nobody is forced to believe anything really.
Noodles!
But it also means that, stuff like a Sky Emperor and an Underground King, like this stuff, a lot of it is kind of vague and contradictory. And different people in different regions will believe different things. Because there's no dogma, right? There's no official doctrine. I mean, there are things...
我覺得幾好笑喎。
Because Christianity came out of the desert, came out of the Middle East, right? Came out of Judaism. The Jews came from the Middle East. And sociologists have studied how desert people, because there's fewer of them and there's fewer resources and often they're nomadic, like enforcing rules and enforcing laws are pretty important because they don't have much. Whereas like jungle religions are often polytheistic, right? There's a lot of gods in the jungle, whereas in the desert there's only one god because this is the sun. Like in the desert, there's nothing in the desert. There's just the sun, there's the sky, there's the earth, and there's not much else. Whereas in the jungle, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's trees, there's birds, there's monkeys, all sorts of animals, rivers, like everything going on. So depending on where you live, you have a different concept of gods and divinity and all that. And because there's so much diversity,
I found one of your statues.
The sheep. This is good. This is the most powerful move of all. Pay attention.
Because there's so much diversity in the jungle, like those cultures are more open to the difference, right? Like there's all sorts of different animals in the jungle, and they all do different things, and they all survive, and they all live. So it's okay to be different, you know. Whereas in the desert, because it's so harsh, you have to do what you're supposed to, because otherwise you're gonna die. Like in the desert, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna run out of water, run out of food, and you're gonna die, right? What is Dimmak?
Move of all. Pay attention. I'm ashamed to call myself your teacher.
What? Grab him?
Your failure is truly breathtaking. Faster!
Oh, I have to press that.
Harder!
Okay, so it's one of these kung fu things.
Grows by the minute.
Alright, it's a special counter.
Start surely laughing at my failure to teach you properly. You have fought with such towering You've been drinking? It's been a pleasure to work with a student as skilled as you. But I have to say I find myself troubled.
Why, Sifu?
I have given you powerful tools. If they are not used well, surely I bear part of the responsibility.
You're wrong. You're not responsible for me. Each of us eventually answers for our own actions.
And when your journey is over, will you be ready to answer for what you've done? To live with it?
Yes, I will live with it. Because when I'm done, it won't just be me who has to answer.
Be careful, Wei. Those who seek justice are at the greatest risk of losing sight of it.
That's a nice saying, Sifu. But if I let that stop me, there won't be any justice at all.
Alright, we got all the moves. So Dimmak, it's a kung fu movie trope. So in kung fu, like a kung fu master, you have to understand the human anatomy, and so you understand the weak points in the human anatomy, like the neck, for example, neck, the solar plexus. Like there's a certain like the temples, like when a martial artist, he understands where the human weak points are, and he hits you where you're weak. Like it stuns you or it knocks you out, and it seems like it's really easy, but because he's hitting you where he knows you're vulnerable, right? Like the neck, like somebody like chops you like right there, you basically down, right? You're struggling. Like if you collapse the windpipe, you're just struggling to breathe, and you're done. So, you know, like a kung fu master can like disable a person with a couple of hits. And over time, in fiction, this has evolved into Dimmak. Dim is to point, and Mak is like a vital point on your body. And so it's become sort of like this kind of magic, where like you kind of poke somebody in the special parts, and then it kills them. So it's a martial arts fiction trope. It's not really how that works in reality, but if you fight a martial artist who understands the human anatomy, yes, they can knock you out very quickly. Because they know your weak points and they just hit you a few times and you're done. But that's a different thing from what this is. Because if you saw what he did there, he kind of taps him there, and that stuns him, and then he just kind of pokes him a little bit, and then he falls over, right? Which is not exactly how that works, but you know, like if you hit somebody in the right places, maybe like in the armpit, if you kind of like smash them like right in the armpit, because your nerves are there. There's like very little defense there. Like it will stun your arm, like it will numb your arm, and then like you know hit them in the funny bone, hit them in the like the knees. But you can like hit people in certain places, and like you hit them in the nerves, and it would stun them. Like it would like they would like struggle to get back into the action. So there is some basis behind it, some like physical anatomical basis to how that works, but not like that. Okay, so that's it for our little tour around North Point, and we did get all the jade statues in the end. I'm gonna take a break here, and when we come back, I'm gonna make my way over to Central. I'm gonna get into my apartment in Central, if I can find it here. No, that's not. Okay, I'm gonna go get into my apartment in Central, and when we come back, we're gonna walk around Central, and Central's huge as well. It might take another 2 hours. Just gonna walk around Central and then up here as well, Soho. Okay, I will see you next time.